When we take the derivative of functions such as y equals sine of arc cosine of x, there's several routes to go. You can apply the chain rule, or you can simplify the function and find the derivative of the simplified function. So we can try both routes. Okay, so first we can use the chain rule. And the reason is because we have a composite functions. So y prime, the chain rule tells us to take the derivative of the outer function. Derivative of sine function is cosine function. You evaluate it at the inner function, arc cosine of x. Then you multiply by the derivative of the arc cosine of x is a cofunction, gain a negative sign, and is square root of 1 minus x squared. And try to memorize this formula. And then you can simplify. So think about it. What is cosine of arc cosines of x? These two are inverse function. It will give you x back. Okay? That is the definition of an inverse function. So this whole thing is going to give you x back. And then you just multiply by negative 1/4 square root of 1 minus x squared. So that is the derivative of this function. Now another way to do it, to find the derivative, so this is the answer, right? But another way to find the answer, you can simplify y first, okay? So you can rewrite y without trig functions. If that's possible. So let's see whether that would be possible. You have to go from the inside first, okay? And you have to know what you're given. So take a look. Arc cosine of x is the angle theta. That is the key to answer inverse trig function and trigonometry function. You need to know the angle, you need to know the sine. What represents the angle, what represents the sine. So arc cosine of x will give you the angle theta back. And the relationship is like this. Okay, so draw a right triangle. Now in this case, it's cosine of theta. Okay, so be careful. Right here is theta. Adjacent divided the hypotenuse. So what it tell you? If cosine theta mass equals x, right? Cosine theta mass equals x. Why? Because the inverse arc cosine of x will give you the angle theta back. So what it's telling you is the adjacent divided by the hypotenuse must be x. You can define it as x and then 1. That's the simplest way to define it. You can use different expression, but it has to get the same ratio of x. So what it tells you is the opposite is square root of 1 minus x squared. This is the relationship that we're dealing with. So now you simplify this function. This y is just cosine of the angle theta. The sine of the angle theta. What is sine of theta? Opposite divided by hypotenuse. So y is really 1 minus x, square root of 1 minus x squared. Now you know how to take derivative of this function. So y prime is power rule, right? General power rule. Power comes down. 1 minus x squared, power decreased by 1, negative 1/2, times derivative of 1 minus x squared is negative 2x. Then you simplify. Okay, 1/2 and negative 2 multiply together give you negative 1, right? Negative x on the top. Negative 1/2 power is just in the denominator, square root of 1 minus x squared. You get exactly the same expression back. So both ways will work. Whichever way is most easy for you, you go for that way.